Welcome everyone in to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. It's a Tuesday night, and that means the Grindstone Developments Truck Series here, the fast and fun Talladega 55 here live on the PGR eSports Network. I'm your host here, filling in for Austin Green, Michael Triscaro, as we get set for some Craftsman truck racing here. 55 laps of restrictor plate bumper-to-bumper action here, and 100% fuel here tonight for these drivers. 3 tire sets, 2 fast repairs, 2 green-white checkers if we need them, and fixed setups here tonight. 80-degree ambient temp here at Talladega, 115-degree track temperatures. These drivers right now on track and setting their qualifying laps right now. This is Bryce Rayner, and this is my first time here on the call for the Fast and Fun Truck Series, so bear with me as I get used to some of the names and the numbers, paint schemes here tonight. But Bryce Rayner right here on track to get things going, and he is provisional pole sitter right now for this 55 lap race here tonight as we get set to start to get to the starting grid here tonight. And we are just a few minutes away from going trackside for that grid. We'll walk through that whole grid when we get down to the track here tonight. But all these drivers here tonight, including this man right here in the number 91, getting their couple laps in and trying to be the fastest man here and get that starting position out front from the chaos here at Talladega Superspeedway. And that'll complete the lap there for the number 91. William Mann Jr. from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Race Hell Praisdale, the number 29, setting his fastest time here so far tonight. Looks like 13th position so far for him. Tyler Meeks in the 7 Ford. He is locked right now into the 5th spot. Mike Hill still on the racetrack from Gulfport, Mississippi. And he has yet to set a time here in the USPS Ford. But looking forward to calling this one. This is right in the wheelhouse for PGR eSports, who runs Super Speedway money races Monday nights and Thursday nights here live on the network. So Talladega, Daytona, Atlanta, these are the specialty races for our production team, and looking forward to calling another one, and should be a good one here tonight. So appreciate these guys also for having us come on board for the season. And luckily for them, they've had Austin Green, and he's one of the best in the business on iRacing. Qualifying about to come to an end here, and we're going to take you high above Talladega Superspeedway here in the Goodyear Blimp, as all the trucks right now getting set to get on that grid. And we'll bring you right down to the track here momentarily to walk you through that starting lineup. Your pole sitter here tonight, that's going to be Bryce Rayner for Digital Sim Sports Team Conti. Outside front row, that'll be Kevin Kirchar. In the second row here tonight, starting third, that'll be Stephen Pless. And outside of him, starting fourth, that'll be George Young of Midpack Racing. Starting fifth tonight, Tyler Meeks. And starting sixth, that'll be Nathan Meyer. Starting 7th, Brian High. And starting 8th tonight, that'll be Wesley Shaw. In your 9th position, that's John Ledger. And rounding out tonight's top 10 starting spots, that's Jason Nethery. Starting 11th here tonight, that's Caleb Forsyth. And James Harris, he'll start in the 12th position. William Mann Jr. will start in 13th. Brad Thacker in 14th. Jamison Correa in 15th. Randy Richards 16th tonight. Wesley Carter will start in 17th, and Mike Hill will start in 18th. See Bryce Rainier right there. That is your pole sitter popping up onto your screen. So he will have that coveted pole position here tonight. Eli Childs will start in 19th tonight. Kevin Martin 20th. And starting in that last 21st starting spot, 21 truck field here tonight, that is Toby Ritters of Ace High Racing. So that is your starting grid here tonight, led by your pole sitter on your screen, Bryce Rainier. So just starting to roll here at Talladega. There is the number 99, your pole sitter. And loading into the sim as well. We got somebody else coming on board here. It's going to have a couple onboard cameras. That's Wesley Shaw, you see. Cool looking setup right there for Wesley Shaw. He's going to be starting right here in the 8th position tonight. So those two guys, appreciate them carrying an extra camera for us here on the broadcast tonight. Wesley Shaw from Springtown, Texas. And at Talladega, yeah, it's a roulette reel here at this racetrack. So this winner tonight can come from any 21 of these drivers tonight. Looks like Randy Richard going to start in the pits. So we're going to rack them up here. We're going to go green the next time by. Here in the Fast and Fun Truck Series. This is the Talladega 55 live here on the PGR eSports Network. Lorraine Nija in the chat, and she will be cheering on the number 19 of John Ledger. Appreciate all the current viewers coming out here early to watch these guys race on the high banks of this 2.66 mile super speedway. And it sure is to be action-packed here tonight. Nathan Meyer, your current point leader. Bryce Rainier, your pole sitter tonight, second in the points currently. Michael Correa, he is tied for second. Andrew Hale fourth. Randy Richard fifth. John Thacker tied for fifth as well. Pace car is going to dive down here onto pit lane. And these trucks going to get into that Geico restart zone. When they do, that green flag's going to be flying here, as all these truck engines will come to song here at Talladega. The 99, the 91 going to lead them down. Green flag in the air here at Talladega. A dead here on lap number one. It's Rayner and Kircher here side by side. And lap number two now of a 55-lap race here tonight. All these trucks filled with Sunoco Racing fuel. They got 100% fuel here tonight, so you shouldn't see too much action here on pit lane. Tires not going to be that big of an issue, but you do have two fast repairs if you need them. So a couple of redos here tonight for all of these drivers, and they might need them here at Talladega Superspeedway. Pack Racing is here. We are already 3 wide in this 21-car field. Richard right now a lap down, started in the pits here tonight. And we'll see if he can get back on track, get back in this pack some point in this race here tonight. Steve in Please right now in second right there on the bottom lane. And that bottom lane right now, the preferred lane. And they have all the energy right now as we stay 3 wide here at Talladega. The 91 and the 69. Gonna wash up just a little bit. That's Kircher. and getting a strong push right now here down the Alabama Gang super stretch. Wow, what a block. Rainier's going to go from bottom to top. You don't see that too often. And he's going to come back down all the way to the bottom. And, man, the 99. Ooh, we got a wreck here early. First crash of the night. Yellow flag is out on lap number 3. One truck is over, sliding on the driver's side. The 9 involved, Eli Childs. And caution is out here early tonight here at Talladega. And we'll go back here and to find out exactly what happened here. We'll slow this one down. And you're going to see a wreck here right near the front of this field. Here comes the 9. That's Childs. 55 is going to go up top. Ooh, there it is right there. That's 69. I believe Stephen Pless is going to come up the racetrack, hook the number 9. That's going to start this chain reaction. The 55 involved, that is James Harris. The 48 as well of George Young. And the first caution of the night. And thank God for those couple fast repair these drivers get here. We'll go back one more time, and you can watch it right here, the 69. We'll go on that far chase. We'll slow it down again. And see, the 9 starts to come down, but the 9's going to hold his line there. And there goes, yep, there goes the 69. Moves up the racetrack. It's going to left hook the 9 right there down actually into the 13 of Brian High before it shoots the 9 back up the racetrack. And that's where chaos ensues right there. A big wreck here to start tonight's race. As you're riding right here, slow motion through the replay with George Young of Dallas, PA. Damage for him. He'll have to come down pit lane. Might want to take one of those fast repairs. He got 2. Might as well use them here tonight. Back out front here, we are pacing. The pace car lights will go out the next time by. So 2 laps to go till we go back green. Brian Rainier still in first here tonight from Clark's Summit, PA. I'll tell you what, right now, Rainier and Kirchar, they really were linked up really well here. Really good cohesion between the Toyota here and the Chevrolet. Tonight here, obviously, Talladega for 55 laps. And next week, we will be back here on the PGR eSports Network. And it's Bristol, baby, next week. Short track racing for 150 laps in the last great Coliseum. We'll be back again on April 22nd. That'll be at Rockingham. Rockingham for 95 laps. And then to close out the month of April, on April 29th, that'll be Dover for 110 laps. So that is the rest of your calendar for April. And next week, looking forward to that call at Bristol Motor Speedway. But tonight, a lot of action early with one caution already here on lap number 3 of 55 here tonight. Full crowd here in the stands and a crowd here in the broadcast here tonight as the pace car is going to dive off pit lane here for the second time tonight. This will be the first restart since the initial one here tonight. The 99 still your leader. Into the Geico restart zone for the second time. Green flag back into the air here at Talladega. They're stacking up here on that top lane. The top lane not going anywhere right now. They're going to have to get it together right now. That bottom lane is cooking. These guys a little bit farther on back just did not get going there, I believe. Mike Hill might have missed a shift in the 27. There goes the 81 of Jamison Correa to the middle of him. He wants to go to the front. Here comes the 69 behind of Martin. Ooh, we have another wreck. Another crash on the track. Caution back out here. And that's going to be farther on back here. There is the 22 of Wesley Carter off pace. Second caution here already of the night here. And we're going to see that here happen on the bottom of the racetrack. Back that one up. That's going to be between the 7 of Tyler Meeks and Carter. So we'll slow this one down. We'll see. Yeah, look, Meeks right there is going to offset. They're not going to come together just yet. Wesley Carter there. And here they come. Here comes Meeks. Yep. And that's where he's going to offset push Carter. Now he's underneath. Carter's going to come right back down, cut the nose off the 7, and practically turn himself here onto the apron. And Carter, luckily there, right there, is going to stay grounded, hits the brakes. Good job there on the brakes is Wesley Carter to keep this truck off that inside wall and come to a stop. So minimal damage here for Carter. Should not require really any damage fixing on pit lane, or especially not a fast repair. So a little left side damage or rear damage right there. Could have been something earlier, but nonetheless, Wesley Carter gonna definitely be able to recover from that here tonight. Back up front, it's still all Bryce Renier, and lost his onboard camera here. So we will only be carrying Wesley Shaw. But 2 cautions now here to start the first 10 laps of this race. We are pacing yet again. Pace car lights still on. See if they go off this time. Oh, they're going to stay on here. And we will take a quick break here on the PGR eSports Network. Back here at Talladega, the pace car lights are off here. Renier Krachar about to lead him back to green again. William Mann Jr., Wesley Shaw, Jamison Correa currently being scored in your top 5. 2 cautions here early to start tonight's race, as we are going all the way to lap 55 here tonight. And if we need them, we have 2 green-white checkers, NASCAR overtimes. But we're hoping these guys can get this one going and get some green flag racing in. They were 3 wide here to start tonight's race. One decently big wreck, and then that one's just a 1-car spin. So all these trucks here still alive tonight. Everybody right now on the lead lap, as the pace car is going to lead them off turn number 4 and into the tribal. Back underneath the yellow, heading on to pit lane again. This will be the 3rd restart here of the night. The 99 getting used to this. We'll see if anyone could challenge these front couple drivers right now. They seem to be the class of the field here tonight. Lots of speed in the 99 and the 91. To the Geico restart zone again. Green flag back into there. Wesley Shaw right now into your top 5, running in 4th from Springtown, Texas. You see him wheeling that Craftsman truck there. It looks like he's on a F1 or more of an open wheel setup there with the wheel. So an interesting there, not going with that oval wheel. So this man right here now on the bottom of the racetrack to the back bumper of Renier, as he's looking for some more here tonight. Definitely getting racy here. 2 wide. Now we got a 3rd lane forming a little bit farther on back here in the pack. And these guys wasting no time. Tyler Meeks here on the top. Going to snatch this lap away from Kirchar. So here comes Tyler Meeks. Wow, these guys wasting no time at all on the top either. We are 3 wide. Here comes Martin. Kevin Martin, a great push here. Down off the corner, or off the exit of turn number 2. The 53, that's Randy Richard there pushing. Man, they're going to come door bang practically off this middle lane. Man, they got a lot of takers here in that high lane. So 3 wide. And some really good side-by-side racing. That's what everyone came to watch here tonight. You see some of these trucks dancing around. They're, trying to figure out which runs to take. Right now, it's that bottom and top lane really working. The middle's going to fade here. And some new players here up front in this race. Toby Clifford Ritter here in the 3 truck. Looking stout. 3rd position right now on the racetrack. And yeah, ever since that restart, the only thing that hasn't changed is Kevin Kirchar still out front here. Restarted 2nd there. Kirchar right now doing a great job. Solid there on the bottom of the racetrack. 53, here comes Randy Richard again. With Tyler Meeks on the push there. 21 truck field here tonight. It's going to go all the way back to this man right here. That is going to be George Young. So everybody you see pretty much still in this main pack, just a little bit farther back. These guys hanging out, conserving a little bit. Back up front, it's Randy Richard now, your leader. 2 by 2 we go. 3 wide's going to disappear just for a little bit here. Lap 12 of 55. Stephanie Hill here tonight. Watching Mike Hill, cheering him on. Hopefully he can get the victory lane. That'll make Stephanie pretty happy here tonight. Back to 3 wide, the 91. Gonna get out of line. They're gonna bring up, man, these guys are racing hard here tonight. The 29 of William Mann Jr. there to the middle as well. I'll tell you what, this is a roulette here in the front of this pack. You got those 2 faster pairs. Hey, you might as well race hard from start to finish here tonight. Here comes the 81 down the backstretch here. That's Jamison Correa. And here comes Rainier back into this one. Faded just a little bit from the start of this run. And now he's going to be left out here to dry on that high lane. That just bottom seems to be the place to be, as Eli Childs now here to the front. 21st is only 2.4 seconds back, so everybody right now within striking distance of the front of this pack. See 2 by 2 down the backstretch here at Talladega. And don't forget, the start-finish line not in that traditional center position on the front stretch. It's going to be closer down into turn number 1. So a lot of racing when you come off turn number 4 here. All the way through that tri-oval where a lot of danger lurks. As the 81 right now loose off the front bumper of the 69. And not going to like that push. Going to get down to the bottom here. Clear to the bottom. As Jamison Correa now to the point here at Talladega. And Kevin Martin strong here in the middle lane. Going to try to make that work. As the bottom now falls apart just a little bit. 7 off pace. Going to have to get back up and in the pack. And Meeks is able to do that here. And here comes Bryce Rainier again to the front of this race. Man, if it's anything like it's going to be at the end of this one, man, I'll tell you what, you do not want to leave your seat to the very end of this one. These guys all racing very hard, and we're only on lap number 15 here tonight. Problems here on the racetrack. That's Caleb Forsythe off the pace in the 776 into the grass. And I'll tell you what, Forsythe's going to lose a lap here. Looks like some damage, maybe a blown motor there. Yep, there's smoke billowing out from the back end of the Coors truck here tonight, and trying to limp way to pit lane and get that fast repair. And hopefully we'll only go down one lap here. As here come the leaders now outside of turn number 4. And that's going to put Forsythe a lap down into the pit stall. And Forsythe's going to be looking for a yellow to get back on that lead lap. Renier now is going to clear up to that middle lane, and the 3 says, hey, no way. Here goes Clifford Ritter to the top with the 91 of Kirchar. They're going to split that 99. And the 99 now, no help right now in the middle. Lonely place to be here at Talladega. Gonna have to try to file back down here. But here comes the 91 to the middle. That's going to help the 99 say, hey, you left me, I'm going to leave you. To the bottom, the 99 goes. These guys not giving an inch. I'll tell you what, they are all racing for themselves here tonight. And that checkered flag. Randy Richard now. Your leader. Kevin Martin, Jameson Crea, your top 3. We'll show you what it's like here to drive in this pack. On board here with Brad Thacker. Riding here on that high lane, and you know, you can't really see too much in front of you there when you're following somebody. So you gotta really anticipate a wreck happening. And ooh, you see high right there, right in front. What a great shot that was. Get really loose there. Thacker's gonna have to back out of the throttle just a little bit. A great shot here from Wesley Carter. Big run in the middle. Ritter's gonna cut him off there. So Wesley Carter from Greensburg, PA, trying to make their way back to the front. Here's a race leader. Clear sailing in front of Randy Richard. As action has calmed down just a little bit. We had 2 cautions in the first 10 laps of the race, but since then we have been green. And that's what we like to see here on the PGR eSports Network. Some green flag racing caution. Ooh, we just jinxed it back here. Caution is back out. Ooh, the 34 upside down and flipping. And man, I cannot wait to see that. What happened there? A big wreck here. We'll take you back to it. Here's the 3 coming all the way down the racetrack. Ooh, wow. Just gets right into the 27. We'll have to see where that 34 comes into play, because that 34 was upside down. There goes the 56, and there's the 34. Upside down, right in the catch fence. There goes the rear bumper. And the 34 for one heck of a ride. That's Jason Nethery. And both the 56 as well. Brad Thacker. I mean, they're both riding the outside wall. That is something right there. Here goes the 34 up and over. You see the Goodyear tires still spinning there. That is one flip right there. We're going to do another one. It looks like 2 flips for the 34. Trying for a third here as well. And wow, hit by the 69 again. Crazy heavy damage there for a lot of these trucks. Man, the 34 is going to get bounced around like a rag doll there. We're going to go back, watch this in real time from the cockpit of the 34. What a ride there for Jason Nethery. Actually able to drive away to pit lane and get a fast repair. Unbelievable right there for the 34. I'm just not sure what happened to the 3 truck of Ritter there. Came all the way from the top to the bottom of the racetrack. And yeah, that was kind of bizarre. Came down and all the way from that top. But, you know, 34 really did a nice job. Did all they can do to get to the top and try to avoid that. But sometimes, you just can't avoid everything here at Talladega. And right now, here's your leader. Cycles up to the front. That's Tyler Meeks in the Kubota Ford. So Tyler Meeks right now leading this one right in front. That's Caleb Forsythe, but he is currently being scored, I believe, a lap down. Mike Hill in pits, Stephen Pless, they're all trying to fight here for some spots in the back. And tell you what, you want to be out front here tonight. We've seen a lot of the wrecks happen mid-pack on back as we are under our 3rd yellow here tonight. So we get closer to that halfway point here on the PGR eSports Network. We'll step away for just a second. Come back here live. Back here live at Talladega, we got some pit stops here under yellow. That's going to be your leader, Tyler Meeks. Here comes Bryce Rainier, your pole sitter. So they're going to come down, take some Sunoco Racing fuel. Looks like right sides as well right now for, well, that's going to be, I believe, 4 tires there for what was your leader of the race, Tyler Meeks. Here comes the 13 machine. That's Brian High off pit lane, as well as John Ledger. So coming down for service here, lap 22 of 55. As Kircher and Mann Jr. now going to assume the front 2 positions. Pace car lights are out. We'll go green here next time by. Buster Malcolm in the chat saying wild ride for the 34, and yes, it was. But like we said, 2 fast repairs here tonight for all these drivers. So going to get a couple do-overs and try to all make it to the end of tonight's race and have a shot at victory lane. So action-packed here in the first half of this race. 3 yellows. You just saw the 34 go for one heck of a ride there. Up and over about 3 different times. Lands back on all 4 of their tires. Able to drive away. But we have seen these drivers very aggressive up here in the front of this pack all night long. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like tonight in the final 10 laps of this one. As the pace car is going to dive off onto pit lane once again. As we get ready to restart this race, and the 91, he has been a mainstay here in the top few positions here tonight. That's Kevin Kirchar. Side by side here with the 29 of William Mann Jr. into the Geico restart zone. Green flag waving back here at Talladega. Looks like a calm racetrack compared to what these drivers have been doing. See here from the Goodyear blimp, single file here on the bottom lane. And it's not even too wide until way farther back in this pack. So some of these drivers now using up those fast repairs. And they're going to think better of it, being real aggressive here on this run. Right now it looks like some of these drivers just content with logging some laps. Especially these guys here up front. Nathan Meyer now into this one in the 24. Sitting in the 3rd position now. Second lane starting to form a little bit farther back. We got about a 2-truck tandem. And that's going to be Meeks right there with, I believe that's the 22 of Carter. So Wesley Carter, Meeks trying to get this middle lane going. And they got help behind coming here in a hurry. That 34 up and over 3 different times. He said, hey, I got a new truck. I'm back right now. Here comes Nethery in that lane with the 19 John Ledger behind. These guys getting back to the front really quick, and in only a 21 truck field, back to front is going to happen as quick as you want it to and as aggressive as you want to be here tonight. Turn 2 exit. We are now side by side at the front of this pack as Wesley Carter's made it all the way from the back to the front. Here comes strong run here on the very outside, all by themselves. We'll see if that 3rd lane comes back here. I believe that's Stephen Pless. Yeah, Stephen Pless right there. Trying to make some moves here all by himself. He's going to need some help eventually. He might get it. That 99 is coming. Rayner wants some more here. They're going to make that 3rd lane work. And just like that, hey, they couldn't go too long just riding around. Back to 3 wide here at Talladega. 3rd lane's coming. We're going to get a great runoff exit here down the backstretch. And that middle lane breaking up just a little bit. And that's going to open up the door for that 3rd lane here at the end of the backstretch. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to clear this time by. The 91 still hugging that yellow line. That's what they want to be there. Controlling the race to a T right now is the 91. James Harris, 55, doing a great job of controlling his temps. One thing here at Talladega, you push for too long, you're going to heat up that front end, and you got to really watch the oil and the water temps here. Make sure you're cooling that grill as much as you possibly can, but you also got to go fast and stay ahead of the middle and that top lane, so it's all temp management right now. And here we got another wreck, big wreck here. It's the 99. There goes the 3. Caution back out of here at Talladega. Your pole sitter now involved. Bryce Rainier. Some damage to the front end of his Toyota. And there is no safe spot here tonight on the racetrack. But another caution is out. And we'll go back to see exactly what happened here. Coming down the backstretch, yeah, Rainier's turned off the front bumper of the 53. And wasn't able to save that one. There goes the 3 of Ritter. And the 27 as well of Mike Hill. Hard into the outside wall. Caution out again. We'll go back here. It's going to start here in that 3rd lane. With the Randy Richard. We'll get right on far chase here, and we'll try to figure out what happened. Yeah, there's what's going to happen. Rayner is just nowhere to go, and the 53 is going to stay locked onto his back bumper, and As soon as Rainier, goes to push plus, he's just getting pushed. And it looks like some netcode there. You're going to see the back bumper of Rainier go kind of morph right into the 53's front end there. And that's just, that's some netcode there. That's something you can't really control. So technology is going to take over there. And if you're wondering what netcode is, we'll go back and kind of show you what we mean. And this is a great shot. If we can get it, we'll zoom in. And try to get, it's kind of hard to see, not finding the best angle here. We'll just go back to that far chase. And you could kind of see it there. You see how the front of the truck of Richard kind of morphs into the back of Rainier, and that's called netcode right there. Nothing you could do about that. And that's, a technology issue there, part to cause for this incident here. But unfortunately that's going to send the 99 straight down the racetrack. And another caution here tonight. Heavy damage there. Looks like he'll be heading to pit road for a fast repair, one of his two tonight. So back up front, lap 29 of 55, Wesley Carter has assumed the lead of this race. The pace car light's still on here, so come back around one more time before we get back to green flag racing. But it's been a fun one so far. Do not want to go far. This is far from over here tonight. Here for the Fast and Fun Truck Series at Talladega. I want to thank Grindstone Developments Truck Series for having us call all their races here on Tuesday nights. I'm filling in for lead broadcaster here at PGR eSports, Austin Green. I am the series owner over at PGR, and I'll help these guys broadcast a time or two. Austin and Dawson, they're two of the best in broadcasting. So hope I'm doing good enough for you guys out there in the audience watching here tonight. These drivers doing an excellent job, and we're going to see some really good racing here down the stretch tonight as the pace car lights will go out this time by. We'll step aside for a quick break. We'll come back for that green flag. Back here live at Talladega Superspeedway on the PGR eSports Network. Right now, Wesley Carter's your leader. Kevin Kirchar on the outside is in second. James Harris in the 55 in third. Tyler Meeks in the 7, fourth. And right now, rounding out your top 5, that'll be William Mann Jr. We were under caution, I believe, for the 4th or 5th time here tonight. Hard to keep count now. These guys racking up those yellows here, as you would expect at Talladega with the pack racing here tonight. But 26 to go, 25 to go when we hit the line for the restart here. And that pace car driver getting a lot of action here in the front of this field. And we'll see if we can log some green flag laps here as the pace car is going to dive off on pit lane once again. Your pole sitter involved in the last accident, Bryce Rainier, as he's now mid-pack. As Carter And Triscaro lead him through the tri-oval to the Geico restart zone. The flagman getting ready to throw that green flag, and it's back in the air here at Talladega. Triscaro really the class of this field here tonight, and he has been doing an excellent job staying up front and really controlling his race. And an excellent job from him. We'll see if he can stay up front because he's going to have a lot of trucks pushing his buttons here tonight. And here's the 7, Tyler Meeks. While that top lane gets going, here comes Richard again. James Harris in tow behind him, back 2x2 here in the front. They're going to get a nice run off turn number 4. They are clear if they want to take it. Doesn't look like they are. Richard might. They're going to double clear. Richard and Harris to the bottom of the racetrack in front of the 91. 29 now is going to lead that middle lane. He needs some help here. And a great drive there from Richard to snatch that lead from Kevin Triscaro. But I'll tell you what, James Harris wants that lead. He's going to snatch it. Up to the top he goes. Triscaro's going to follow. 53's going to fade a little bit, and he's going to lose those spots. 29's getting in line, and man, some great blocks here by these truck drivers here in the front of this pack. Doing an excellent job here. Well, we have a moment. We'll try to go through the whole field here tonight. Your leader right now, James Harris. Kevin Triscaro in second. Randy Richard in third. William Mann Jr. in fourth. Kevin Martin in fifth. Tyler Meeks in sixth. Bryce Renier, your pole sitter right now, fighting for that 6th and 7th position. John Ledger in seventh. Tyler Meeks a little bit farther back, scored in 9th position right now. Nathan Meyer right there in the top 10. Wesley Carter a little bit farther back in 11th. We saw Jamison Correa up front a little bit earlier in 12th. Wesley Shaw in 13th. Brad Thacker right now in 15th. Caleb Forsythe, we saw that blown motor earlier, trying to recover from that in 16th. Jason Nethery went for the biggest ride of this race, tumbling 3 times in 17th. Toby Ritter now here in 18th position. Brian High in 19th. Stephen Pless still out there trying to get back into this thing in 20th. And Mike Hill right now, actually, I believe, is taking that 20th position from Stephen Pless from Gulfport, Mississippi. So everybody still has a shot here tonight. So we go back up front. Your race leader, Randy Richard. Kevin Martin now trying to lead this lap from Richard, and it looks like 69 did. 21 laps to go here at Talladega on a Tuesday night for the Fast and Fun Truck Series. And we're having some fun up here in the booth calling this one. 2 wide down the backstretch we go. As Rayner now back in this thing. New truck and all. Here comes your pole sitter, the 99. Man, if I had to take a bet who was going to win this race, I mean, I couldn't pick. I'd have to almost put all their names in a hat, because even the strong trucks here tonight in Rayner and Rayner and Kirchard, you know, even with those guys being the class of this field, I mean, it has just changed hands for the lead so many times. Whenever you think one, you know, is going to kind of control the race, you know, these guys come down that middle or that top lane, they slice and dice, and they find a way to get to the front and lead some laps. Right now, Randy Richard, though, another guy who has been up front a lot of this night. So You got to put him right there with Rayner and Kirchar as being your favorites. Ooh, we got one all the way up in, almost to the wall. And that is the 48 of George Young. He's going to save it. As we stay green flag racing here, the 48 had a wild ride almost into the outside wall. He's going to keep it off the wall. Get back here in this draft and take a deep breath right there behind the wheel of that Ford, because that could have been bad for George Young. Richard still leads it outside. That's going to be Kevin Martin. As Eli Childs as well trying to make their way back to the front. 2 by 2, no 3 wide right now. I'm sure we'll see it a little bit later as we get closer to the checkered flag here tonight. Martin's clear to the bottom if he wants it. We'll see. It looks like they're going to double clear. Yes, they do. Childs, Martin to the bottom. That opens up the door for Brad Thacker here tonight in the 56. Thacker now. Daylight in front. We'll see if Thacker can get a run down the backstretch. Looked like for a second some trucks behind him were going to go 3 wide as they keep peeking out. No takers there on that third lane. Bottom lane still rolling here. But Thacker, a new player in his black Ford right there, trying to dig and get to the front of this pack. And he's counting on Forsythe right now with that new engine, that new truck, to get him back to the front here. Right now, these guys staying in their lanes, staying in their lines. And man, a lot of guys that had a lot of trouble here tonight. Ooh, wow. 56 gets a little bit loose there on the front bumper of the 776 of Forsythe. And that's going to slow them just down a little bit. Tell you what, this driver fourth on back on the tops keeps peeking out. I believe that's the 29 there of William Mann. And you know, before you know it, we're going to have the takers out to that third lane with 17 laps to go. Eli Childs now here on the bottom leading. $16 laps to go, 3 wide. There goes Thacker. That's Kevin Martin now in the sucker hole. Nothing he can do about that as they split Martin here. And what'll happen when Thacker clears Martin, we'll see. Oh, there goes the 99. Hey, he's made that move a couple times tonight. He's going to dart to the middle and pick up Martin. And they're going to pick up Kirchar as well. So now the middle pack very strong. Back to 3 wide racing. Action picking up here at Talladega as we wind them down here. Some great move there by Bryce Rayner. And he's going to try to snatch this lead back here from Childs. Right here to the start-finish line. Childs will lead that lap, but here comes the 99 on the outside. Jamison Correa getting back involved. He's coming right to the front here with Thacker. Rayner's going to clear on to the bottom of the racetrack. Martin now, your leader in the middle. Back to 2 wide racing. One stuck there on the third lane. That's the 34 of Nethery. And he's going to get picked up. Oh, the 48. 48 is hard into the wall. We are going to have a yellow flag for that one. Wow, no yellow. No yellow. George Young completely destroyed the front end. Man, no yellow flag. Watch George Young. Unbelievable hit here. And caution now out. Yeah, George Young, ooh, out. Come down the racetrack. That's going to net coat him. Turn him right back up to the outside fence. Heavy damage, wheel damage to the right front. of this 48 machine of George Young. We might have just had another incident as well. We do, as we were showing the replay there. A big wreck in the front of this pack. So sorry for not showing that one live. We were going back to see what happened there with George Young, and we missed this one. So we're going to go back to it live, slow it down. Yeah, you look at that. Right in the front of this pack. 4 wide. Right across the start-finish line. Martin's going to come up the racetrack and get into Carter. Turns Carter down the racetrack right into Forsythe. Who, more problems for your pole sitter Rayner here tonight. Man Jr. involved. There goes the 69 into the outside wall. Forsythe, more bad luck. Spinning sideways, almost upside down. So another big one strikes here. There goes the 24. Caution flies again. Nathan Meyer hitting that brakes. You can see all that smoke fly. Man, we had a big one here in the front of this pack. That's going to change a lot here. As some of these guys, like I said, probably already onto their second faster pair here tonight. Not many mulligans left for some of these drivers. Is plenty of yellows here tonight. You see George Young still here in pit lane. We're going to cycle back up to the front. It is Brad Thacker, your leader, with just 13 laps to go. There'll be 12 to go at the line. So when we go back racing, we'll be in the final 10 laps of this race. And if you're a betting man, I do not even know who you would bet on to win this race. This has been a really action-packed race up front in this pack. And there's a lot of good drivers right now trying to snatch the win here and go to victory lane at Talladega on their seasons. After this race, stay with us here on the PGR eSports Network. We're going to head over to Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder at Daytona International Speedway. And that race will start right after this one. They're going to be waiting for us over there. And we will go racing. It is season number 6 of RMR every Tuesday night. And tonight in the Craftsman trucks at Talladega for 60 laps. There'll be a stage break over in that race tonight at lap 20. 40% fuel in that one. 2 extra sets of tires, and it's a money racing league on super speedways. RNR's Tuesday Night Thunder. And catch us there right after this one. But first, we still have to crown a winner here tonight in the Fast and Fun Truck Series. Brad Thacker right now, your leader. James Correa in second. Jason Nethery third. James Harris fourth. And rounding out your current top 5, Kevin Kirchar. We will step aside again here. When we come back, you won't want to miss the last 10 laps of this one here live on the PGR eSports Network. Back here live on the backstretch here at Talladega. We are set to go green yet again. There'll be 10 laps to go when we take that green flag. Brad Thacker, Jamison Correa going to lead them down here as action going to pick up all the way through this field. 21 drivers here tonight set out to get to victory lane, but only one will pull their Craftsman truck to celebrate and burn them down here tonight. The pace car going to go off and dive back onto pit lane once again. The 56, a new leader here at Talladega, set to bring him to that green flag. Nethery, the 34, he's back into this race after flipping earlier. He's got a shot here tonight, as does James Harris and Kevin Kirchar. The 56, though, right now is going to lead that pack to green. Green flag back into there at Talladega. Hard racing here up front, side by side. And here comes Jamison Correa with the big run down the backstretch. Is clear to go down. Will he or won't he? It looks like he's going to stay in the middle. That's going to help Thacker just a little bit as the 34 gets back to the back bumper of the 56. Here comes, I believe that's going to be Kevin Kirchar as well. Kevin Kirchar getting back in the swing of things here. He looks to go 3. He's going to think better of that. Get back in line, and right now there goes the 9. Eli Child's going to try to make the third lane work with Man Jr. Back to 3 wide racing. Man, this is a great shot of the 3. Wow, the 29 is going to scrape off the outside wall. That is William Mann. 69 up the racetrack. Going to have to be careful there. It's back to 3 wide. What a race we have with 9 laps to go. Huge run down the middle of the racetrack. Oh, we got a wreck here. Wreck farther back. There goes the 91 of Kirchar. No caution. Caution is out. Caution is out. Looks like they saved it. Farther back here, and looks like those guys were able to save it. And we'll go right back to the root of the caution here. Hard racing there on the bottom between... in the front there, the 91 and the 56. Looks like the 91 got out of line just a little bit. Not many mistakes here tonight out of Kirchar. We'll see if he makes one here. He's in that middle lane. Thacker's still clear here on the bottom. Richard Correa going to go to clear. Yep, Kirchar is just going to tunnel vision there. Try to follow Richard down, and Thacker's there. So that one on the 91. It's going to push Thacker down the racetrack, and Thacker said, hey, I want my spot. I'm going to come right back up the racetrack and say, no, you're not going to take that one from me like that. And he's going to turn that 91. Not too happy probably is Thacker. Got himself in position here. Man, Nethery did a great job there avoiding the 91, and really not too much harm done to any of these guys here. Great saves all around. As we'll go back live to the front of the field, it's Jamison Correa now with 8 laps to go in the driver's seat here. Long way to go, though, here at Talladega. We got 2 green-white checkers if we need them here tonight. And a mistake there, unfortunately, from one of the favorites, Kevin Kirchar. He's going to have to be on pit road there, fixing some damage and or getting a fast repair. All right, we'll find him right there. Coming into a stall right now. I'd love to have that one back, but if there's a guy that can make his way from the back to the front, it's for sure the 91 here tonight, getting some fresh Goodyear rubber. Both sides right there for Kirchar. And it looks like he might have backed up, tried to get a, yeah, I think he might have taken a fast repair there, and that's possibly why he went in reverse and then back forward in his box. So kind of a cool shot there as we go back up front. And the 81, the Team Conti driver here, Jason Correa. Randy Richard in the 53 in second. William Mann Jr. in third. Bryce Rayner in fourth, and rounding out your current top five, Tyler Meeks. Well, we're set to go green next time, or right here, actually. Sorry about that. We're going to go green right here as the 81 going to lead them down here. 7 laps to go. There's going to be 6 laps to go here in the race when we take the green flag. Remember, tonight, if we get to the white flag, the race will be official. As the 81, the 53, going to lead them through the tri-oval here. All the fans on their feet. No one's sitting down here at Talladega. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back into the air. Jamison Correa, a great start right there, and it seems like Richards glued to the back of his bumper. Here comes the 29 of Mann Jr. with a push from Tyler Meeks here on the bottom. Right now, though, all the energy there in that middle line. But we'll see, these guys have been splitting each other out 3 wide all night long. The 99 now making his way back up to the front. Can your bull sitter win this race? Outside of turn number 4. And Mann Jr. now edges ahead here, as he's got some speed here on the bottom. Here comes that third lane. Steven Pless from the back. He's trying to make his way all the way up to the front. The race is on here. 5 laps to go. Yeah, that third lane fading a little bit right now. They're going to have to push harder to try to get into this front. There are only 3 trucks there on the outside. And you're going to see some more takers here. The 81's going to clear on down to the bottom. Correa to the bottom. The 53, Randy Richard now staring at empty space ahead. He's liking that spot there in the middle. But they have a third lane, and that third lane is getting bigger, and it's coming fast. Led by James Harris there in that Chevrolet Silverado. As we are back to 3 wide, and I bet you we're going to stay there the rest of this one. 4 laps to go here as we hit the line once again. Do not go anywhere. Randy Richard back up here to the lead. The 19 bouncing off the wall just a little bit. They're out of the gas. Are they going to be able to save it? It looks like they do in the Little Caesars Chevy truck. They're going to go backwards just a little bit, try to regain that speed. Back up front, Randy Richard still your leader. Here comes Rayner now, a strong push. As Harris still looks to try to make that outside lane work. We stay 3 wide, bumper to bumper. All these drivers right now white knuckling it around Talladega Superspeedway to the line, 3 wide, 3 laps to go. Here comes that top lane. They got energy once again. 4 trucks now onto the top lane. I'll tell you what, James Harris is buying his time and hoping to God they have temps to no lift here if they get to the last lap, as he's getting closer and closer here now to the front, to these leaders. He's side by side now with the 53. The bottom fades back just a little bit. There goes the 53. That's Richard to the bottom. What a race we have. James Harris now. He's got a shot at this one. Trying to get clear here on the top. They can't do it. Rayner now in the middle. He's going to lead that middle lane. He controls the race right now. Thacker there in the 56. Daylight for him now as Rayner goes to the bottom. Harris still digging here on the top. 2 laps to go at Talladega. Will we take the white flag or will we go to overtime? Rayner's going to go to the middle all the way to the top. They're wrecking behind. The 69 is almost up and over. Debris all over the racetrack. The 24, the 91, Triscaro, Kevin Martin involved. Brad Thacker involved. The big one strikes with just 2 laps to go. Forsythe and Shaw, a big one. Netherly involved. They're the 52. Heavy damage here to Wesley Shaw. And about a half a lap from taking the white flag. And the yellow will fly for the big one there. Man, I'll tell you what, Bryce Rayner makes that. You don't usually see guys going all the way up. You see him clearing down to the bottom. But man, he clears almost from the bottom all the way up to the top. I mean, and that possibly checked up that top lane. Not quite sure. We'll go back and look at it here. But a big one here. We'll wind this a little bit more to show you what I'm talking about. Watch the 99. He is going to actually go from the bottom to the top. Something, usually you'll see a guy go from the bottom to the middle. He is going to go from the bottom of the racetrack. And he's actually going to go all the way to the top. Well, I think right there he kind of hesitated. So you see him come across the field there. It looked like he was trying to go to the mid. Get in front of Thacker, kind of overshoots it. Gets stuck in between the middle and that top lane. And tries to park it there. And he's like, oh, I don't think I can make that block. Now I got to go to the third. So I don't think he meant to go to the third. And a little bit farther back in this pack. You see it checks him up. Here's the 24. And mistake there. Well, I think they're just trying to avoid some stuff. But Plus is going to go all the way to the wall. The 69's turn. There goes the 24. Man, Thacker's turn. I mean, this is most of the field here. Watch this hit for the 69 of Pless. Excuse me, there's a couple different, same car numbers here tonight, so just trying to get used to them. Wow, look at that right there, the 22. Almost goes up and over. But heavy damage there. And if you got a fast repair left, you're coming down for that one right now. As we go back up front, live, 3 laps to go. But we are in NASCAR overtime now. We're going to have 2 laps to go when we go back green. It'll be our first attempt at a green-white checkered. Remember, we have 2 attempts here tonight if we need them. So Rayner right now being scored in first. James Harris second. Brian High, guy we haven't talked about too much tonight. Here he comes. He's got a shot sitting in third place right now. William Mann Jr. and Toby Ritter, your current top 5, but this Fox Pizza's Dent Ford has a chance to get to victory lane. Most likely going to be restarting behind your race leader of Rayner. So he will dictate Rayner's position here tonight, as he's going to be the one pushing that 99 when the green flag flies. Man, what an action-packed race here tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside for a few minutes here. We'll come right back for the first attempt tonight at a green-white checkered. back here live at Talladega Superspeedway. Man, what a race it's been tonight for the Fast and Fun Truck Series here as we get set for NASCAR overtime. It'll be the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Your pole sitter right now sitting in the front row, currently in the first place position. That is Bryce Rainier. So, wow, he's got a shot here. Blinking out just a little bit. He's going to have to hope he doesn't have any connection issues here. But, man, he's going to try to put it on the pole and win the race here tonight. But James Harris here on the outside's got a great shot as well. We'll see if we can get to that white flag here tonight. Had some yellows, but some really good hard racing here in the front of the pack. Sebastian Seacrest in the chats, and let's go 13 pizza truck. And we'll see if Brian High there now, a new player here at the front of the pack, can get the job done as the pace car is going to get set. Head on down pit lane. Could it be the last time tonight? We will see. Only 4 cars here lined up on the outside. Everyone else single file here all the way on back, taking service. As we go to the Geico restart zone, green flag back into the air. It's NASCAR overtime here on Tuesday night. A solid start there for the 99. He is out front. He's going to want to pick the lane here. Will it be the middle? Will it be the bottom? He's going to go, he's going to look to the middle. He's going to go back down. Here comes that 13 of Brian High. Brian High is going to be the best friend right now of Rainier. He's going to have to stay locked on his back bumper, control some temps just a little bit. Here comes James Harris. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big run here in that middle and top lane. But these guys still slicing and dicing. I wouldn't put it past it. Bring out another yellow. It looks like they're fighting hard here. We'll see if we can get around to that white flag. The 55 now here leads that middle lane. We have that third lane trying to come in. It still has not yet worked that well here tonight. We'll see if it does here on the last lap if we get there. Rainier, your leader. Great job right now by the 13 of High. Only 2 trucks now in that outside lane. White flag into the air. Last lap here at Talladega. James Harris now a strong push from the 25 of William Mann Jr. These guys just need some more speed because right now that 13 pushing the 99 hard. The 13, though, if he wants it, he can take it. Will he take the mid? He does. Here goes that 13. Brian High to the middle. They're wrecking behind out back. It's going to be about a 6 or 7 truck race here to the end. The 55 is wrecked. Wow, the 55 is over. Wow, Brian High all by himself now out in front of this pack. They're going to have to get it together back here. Here's Tyler Meeks. Here's Nathan Meyer. If they can get to one another, they might have a shot at getting to High. Will High win this thing? He hasn't been up front all night long. Into the trioval. Will he hold Meeks and Meyer off? Here they come into the trioval. It is Brian High, your winner here on Tuesday night. What a finish here in the Fast and Fun Truck Series at Talladega. Wow, an underdog story here as Brian High was nowhere to be found most of this race. And here he sits going to victory lane in the Fox's Pizza Den Ford. What a finish there. I mean, unbelievable here. I mean, the guy put himself in position to win. They start wrecking behind, and it's just crazy because a lot of times that happens. You get a couple trucks linked up that get enough speed, and they'll track you down. But he was so far out front by the time Meeks and Meyer got together, it was a little too late as the 13 going to burn them down here for the crowd at Talladega. Everyone's still standing here as Brian High now in victory lane. Having some fun on the grass here. And what a job well done for tonight's race winner. Getting our audience a little dizzy there as some of his competitors celebrating with him here tonight. One happy man right there is your race winner, Brian High. We'll take a short break. We'll see if we can get some of these guys up and into the interview room. We'll go through the final results of this race before we sign off tonight. We appreciate everyone here joining us. Stand by here for driver interviews. Back here live at Talladega, we're going to try to bring some of these top 3 drivers here into the booth. We're going to try to start with Nathan Meyer here tonight, your third place finisher. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Nathan, walk us through, man. What a crazy race here tonight. I'll tell you what, you had a couple drivers here tonight that looked like they were the class of the field, some of the favorites, but tell you what, when you guys all got up front, man, it was some really good racing, and pretty much everybody was, slicing and dicing, trying to get to the front, trying to lead some laps here tonight. But, hey, walk us through those last couple laps, everyone wrecking behind. Looks like there you were trying to get linked up with the 7 of Tyler Meeks and try to give Brian High, who got way out front. Looked like you guys might have a chance to run him down. Anything you guys could have done there to get to him, or are you just satisfied here tonight with the top 3?
Yeah, I was trying to go for 3 wins in a row here, but I was kind of riding around the back the whole race trying to save a fast repair, not get into it, and then on the last restart I kind of just got shuffled back, and I Meeks and I were in the Discord together, and I told him, well, Meeks presents, I hope everyone crashes when we get through, and sure enough, that's what happened. And then I tried to get him to slow down to me so I could bump him past Brian there, but he was already way too far ahead. I think he was like second when all that started happening, but first, and third, so can't complain about how the season's gone so far.
Yeah, well, congrats right there on that top 3 podium finish. Before we let you go here tonight, celebrate, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Yeah, thanks for you guys putting this on. Thanks to Kevin and Grindstone Developments for sponsoring this league, and thanks for to Team Watson Racing for another setup.
All right, well, that was your third place finisher here tonight. Nathan Meyer getting the job done and getting on that podium. And we're going to try to go and bring your runner-up finisher here tonight. That's the 7 in the Kubota, Tyler Meeks. You got a copy?
I got a copy. How you doing, Michael?
Man, we're doing good. That was an exciting race, man. I was hyped up there for the finish, watching Brian High come kind of out of nowhere tonight to snatch that win. But, you guys got a run there. You were trying to get a run there once everyone wrecked you and Nathan Meyer to try to run him down, but nothing you could do there, just a little too late. Walk us through the last lap.
Yeah, I think, the first lap is, the last lap was kind of super speedway racing, all coming to the end, bumping and banging, 4 wide, or whatever we had going. As for the wreck, luckily I got doored pretty good. It shoved me to the inside, and Nathan made it through also, and he was like, check up, we'll get up there and draft together, but I was like, no, you're too far back, so I kept going. Then I'm like, well, I'm not going to catch Brian, so I last-ditch effort, I dropped my pace, trying to back up to Nathan, and he gave me a pretty good shot going in the tri-oval, but I was catching Brian for sure. We just didn't have enough time. Maybe a half a lap sooner, quarter lap sooner, we could have got up to him, but if we were wrecked in the turn, it could have been a different circumstance.
Well, absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure to call here tonight's race. Great job here tonight with that runner-up finish. And before we let you go, Tyler, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Yeah, huge shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast for sure. Kevin James for putting on the Kevin and James. I guess Kevin James sounds like a name. Kevin and James for putting the league on. Grindstone Management for always sponsoring us, giving us the opportunity to do this. All the guys we race with, all the clean guys we race with. It was some pretty bad blocks thrown tonight, but yeah, we got lucky with a podium finish at a super speedway. I'm still trying to work at them 1.5 mile short tracks that we got going on to get a podium and even a win. But second place under wrecking circumstances, but I'll take him.
Well, you'll have your shot at that short track win next Tuesday night at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll let you go here. Go celebrate. Good job here tonight.
Thank you. Have a good one.
That was your runner-up here tonight, Tyler Meeks. But guess what? There's only one guy that can get to victory lane, and he got to victory lane tonight. It's the 13 of Brian High. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, oh man, what a crazy race here tonight. And I'll tell you what, just before we had that green-white checkered, I said, hey, where did this 13 truck come from here tonight? We haven't seen him up front most of the night, but you put your truck right where it needed to be, right when it counted. Walk us through that last lap. Everyone wrecking behind you. You come out of it, and you have a huge lead. Were you nervous there about anyone tracking you down? And what were your thoughts kind of going there as you're kind of all alone there going to the start-finish line?
I got a huge push on the backstretch on the high line, which I think kept me out of the accident. And I saw some guys in my mirror coming out of 3 and 4, and I just kept it floored the whole time. I wasn't lifting. I didn't lift until I got back to 3 and 4 after the checkered line because I wasn't sure it was over.
Yeah, everyone's getting to watch that replay right here of that last lap. They're wrecking behind you. And then another wreck again, I believe, between the 3 and the 56. That takes everyone out. Here you are all by yourself as Meeks and Meyer had to run a little bit. They were trying to get together. But, man, just tell us about this win. How do you feel here tonight getting to victory lane? And what it was a race, you're kind of just waiting in the weeds, and then here you come out of nowhere, get that Fox Pizza Den 13 machine to victory lane.
Yeah, it feels great. Me and the NPR guys kind of came up with a plan. We held back the whole time, and I got kind of lucky out of all of them because most of them ran through their fast repairs before I did. And then I was pushing Thacker to the win there at the end, and caution came out, and I luckily got through that one, ended up in third, and then had a huge run down the backstretch. So it feels real good.
Well, man, we're happy for you up here. It was a great race, great finish, especially for you here tonight. And you'll head to Bristol next week, a little different track there, so you'll have to get ready for that one. But we'll see if you can go back-to-back. And, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to give a huge shout-out to Grindstone Developments for sponsoring the league. Shout-out to James Harris for putting on the league. Shout-out to the NPR guys. God forgives, NPR doesn't. They're great. Shout-out to Team Watson for the setup as well. And shout-out to Fox's Pizza Den in Hopewell. They've been sponsoring my truck for a few now, and they're great.
All right, Brian. Well, you go celebrate with your team. We'll hopefully be talking to you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, man.
That was your race winner. You see him there on the top of the scoring pile, and that is Brian High. Tyler Meeks, runner-up here tonight. Nathan Meyer in third. Brad Thacker, you saw him fighting for the top spots here tonight, finishes in fourth. Caleb Forsythe overcomes some problems to finish in fifth. William Mann Jr. finishes in sixth. Kevin Kirchar, one of your favorites here tonight, finishes in seventh. Randy Richard finishes in eighth. John Ledger ninth. And rounding out your top 10, Jamison Correa. In 11th here tonight, that's Kevin Martin. And 12th here tonight, Wesley Shaw. 13th, Bryce Rainier. He was your pole sitter. 14th, Stephen Pless. 15th, James Harris. 16th, Toby Ritters. 17th, Jason Nethery. And in 18th, Wesley Carter. Eli Childs finishes in 19th. Mike Hill in 20th. And rounding out your 21 truck field here tonight, that'll be George Young. So that is your race results here tonight. It was another good one here as your winner here tonight. You see him burning them down right there, Brian High. Just a great drive for that young man. And, man, what a race it was here for the Grindstone Developments Truck Series. This has been the fast and really fun here at Talladega Truck Series race here live on the PGR eSports Network. We'll be back next Tuesday night with these guys at Bristol Motor Speedway. And the network's heading over to RMR's Tuesday Night Thunder. You don't want to go anywhere. Don't want to miss that one here tonight. So for myself, Michael Triscaro at PGR eSports, we will see you all later.